Year 4. Today we are going to make a whole by adding 2 or more decimals together. And to do this well, you're going to need to know your number partners to 100, which you practiced and looked at yesterday, and apply this to decimals that we've been looking at for the past couple of weeks. So first of all, a quick recap from what we did yesterday. If I had 52, what would I have to add to 52 to get 100? I've used my little number line below to help you jog your memory. So if I've got 52, what do I add to that 2 to get me to the next whole 10? Well, I know 2 and 8 make 10. I'm now at 60. What do I add to 60 to get to 100? I add 40. How many have I added all together? I've added 40 and 8, which is 48. Take a minute to have a go at the next one. If I've got 100 and I subtract something from 100, I'm left with 49. What could that missing number be? Have a think. Let's see if you got it right. 100 subtract 51 would leave me with 49. And 49 add 51 would give me 100. If you got that wrong, or you're not confident with your number partners to 100, you might want to go back and have a look at yesterday's lesson again, because if you're confident with that, you'll find the rest of this lesson easy. So you decide whether you move on or you recap yesterday's lesson. I'm going to move on. So now we've got to decimals. So the number that I've got in my place value chart is 0.36. which is made up of 3/10 and 6 hundredths. Or I could say I've got 36 hundredths, remembering that 100 hundredths will give me a whole one. So that will really help me understand why these number partners to 100 are helpful. So if I have a look at the bottom here, 0.36, what do I add to these 36 hundredths to get me to 40 hundredths? Well, 6 and 4 get me to the next 10, so I add 4 hundredths. What do I add to these 40 hundredths to get me to 100 hundredths, which is a whole one? Well, I know that 40 and 60 hundredths will give me 100 hundredths, which is the same as 1. So I've added 60 hundredths and 4 hundredths. So altogether, I've added 64 hundredths, which we will call 0.64. If we're adding more than 1, or if we're trying to find more than 1, or more than 2 decimals that add together to make a whole, then we've got to add the 2 that we've got first. So here in this part whole model, I've got my whole one is made up of 0.03, so 3 hundredths, add something, don't know what that is, and it's made up of 0.5, which is 50 hundredths or 5/10. So I'm going to pop those in the right place. So I know that 0.03, that 3 is worth 3 hundredths, and this 5 here is worth 5/10. So altogether, I've got 53 hundredths. How many more hundredths do I need to add to that 53 to get me to a whole? Remembering a whole is the same as 100 hundredths. I'm going to give you a minute just to have a go, have a work out, and then we'll see how you did. So I've worked it out using a number line. I had 53 hundredths. What did I have to add to get to my next 10 hundredths? Well, I had 53 hundredths, add 7 hundredths, gave me 60 hundredths. What did I have to add to those 60 hundredths to get to 1? Same as 100 hundredths. I had to add 40 hundredths. So what did I add all together? I added 40 hundredths and 7 hundredths, which gave me 47 hundredths, 0.47. So that would be my missing number in my part whole method. And you're going to have some different calculations to solve today, some of them using part-whole methods and some of them just addition calculations involving decimals. See how you get on, and I'd like to see how you did. Good luck!